Good morning, everyone. I'm Matthew, and we are the Scoops. So, yesterday, recorded a video, should be uploaded by now, talking a little bit about what's gone on the last several weeks in my absence. And the biggest thing, again, was, procrastination, a little bit of laziness, and what I do as far as combating procrastination. Now, I wanted to expand on that just a little bit today, and also kind of go over some other changes and thought process that we've had recently. Now, as far as procrastination, and this kind of goes with everything really, whether it's what I'm doing regarding gardening, whether it's what I'm doing regarding trying to change my mindset, trying to, drag myself out of a funk, if you will. What works for me doesn't necessarily translate to working for everyone else. What I do regarding gardening, my watering methods, things of that nature. First off, I live in Arizona, so what I'm doing right now this time of year may not be what is right for you and your garden. Just like what I do as far as dealing with procrastination. Me, the only way I know how to deal with it is just get to work. Just get off my butt, get to it. That may not work for you. Maybe you need some additional motivation. Maybe you need some purpose. Maybe you need actual support from another individual or an entire group. That's for you to determine. Because again, what works for me doesn't necessarily work for you. All I'm trying to do here is document our journey. We live in the city. We don't want to continue living in the city. We don't want to continue relying on a system that has potential issues. We want to become more self-sufficient, producing our own food, both vegetables, eventually meats, and we want to bring you along with us as we make that transition. That's what the whole purpose of this channel is. I'm hoping that along the way, stuff that I do, stuff that I come across, any failures I have or successes, translates into information that maybe others can use as a teaching tool. That would be amazing, and that's what I'm really hoping for. But at no point do I really want to come across as knowing what I'm doing, because I don't. I have no idea how to get to the goal that I have in my mind. And even once I get to that goal, how to keep it going, I don't know. And one thing I've learned so far just in our first year of gardening is it changes not only season to season, but it can change plant to plant, container to container. Every day is a little different. Every plant's a little different. Everything changes. And so I don't know that there's any one answer necessarily to any one particular issue sometimes. Now, that being said, I have changed a little bit as far as my current thinking process on the quote-unquote homestead, okay? And I've had this vision in my mind that until we have our property and until we have our home, whether we buy property that's got an existing house on it, whether we end up building a home, which would be amazing, by the way. I don't know if I'll be able to, but that's for another conversation. Or if we end up going with a manufactured home or a modular home and have something delivered, whatever the case may be, whatever that looks like, I've had this mindset that until we get to that, and until we actually begin building our farm or our homestead, that what I'm doing now is just a learning process, and there's nothing more to it. And while that's partly true, this is a learning process. Everything I'm doing here is pretty much experimental. I'm no seasoned gardener by any stretch of the imagination. But that doesn't mean that I can't consider what I'm doing here and where I live and where I'm doing this our homestead. As a matter of fact, I think that's actually the wrong way to look at it. Regardless of whether I'm living in this house, maybe we end up back in an apartment at some point. Who knows what happens? I'm not a fortune teller. That's our homestead, and I should start kind of treating it as such. And it's time to start incorporating some of the stuff I'm learning into actual everyday practice. The idea behind that is, let's say you're learning whatever subject. Let's say you've got a book on it. You read through the book, you gain that knowledge, but then you don't actually do anything with it. Well, not only does that knowledge fade over time, but wasn't it kind of useless at that point if you didn't do anything with it? It's kind of the same thing. What's the point of me watching all these videos and reading all these articles and talking to all these people if I don't actually start putting some of it into practice? Perfect example. For nearly a year now, I've been talking about canning, getting into canning and trying to learn how to do that. And I've been talking about, in the same context, pickles. I've been wanting to, try my hand at pickling, yet I've not done it. Sourdough starters. I've been really wanting to get into trying that. I've got a few things I want to try with some sourdough, not just bread, but sourdough pizza crust. But I've not done it. I want to get into the habit of being able to preserve my harvest, but I've not even began practicing any of that. And part of that, I think, is because I've got the wrong mindset. I think I've been looking at this as nothing more than a learning environment instead of actually a practicing environment. And so that's something I really want to change. And part of that may go back to that procrastination and how I tackle it. When I don't know how to take care of stuff like that, the only thing I know how to do is just get to it. So it's kind of the same thing when it comes to, treating our current situation as though we were actually on the homestead, because it is our homestead. It's just a matter of just getting to it. So that's really going to be all for today. I just wanted to do a quick little video update. And of course, this obviously gives me, another video to work on editing. Been changing a few settings within the camera here and trying my hand at different like color grading techniques and editing techniques and stuff. Because eventually, I want to make sure I'm providing the best possible content that I can, because this is another area that I'm trying to learn. So it's not just gardening and self-sufficiency. It's also, of course, content creating and editing and producing content that is up to a specific standard, whatever that standard may be. So that's really going to do it for me today. Again, thank you for listening to me babble on, and we really do appreciate the support that we have received from all of you so far. So again, that's going to do it for me today, and we'll see you on the next one.